Well, ladies and gentlemen, hit makers around the world, you're in the building. The Life Games channel, Lamont Tyson, back again with the living legend. He is a walking living legend, the big homie Larry. We're here to review P Valley and a show that we have missed reviewing the whole year, The Boys, episode 7 of season 3. Big Larry, how you feeling tonight, my brother?
Oh man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Both of these were like intense episodes, man. They were both really intense.
Look, man, Larry, am I wrong for saying this? And shout out to everybody that's watching us at this moment. Am I wrong for saying that The Boys is one of the best things that we've seen on TV in the last 20 years? In the top 10.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best shows. It really feels like, and I've read this before, that like the people over at Amazon Prime have given no pushback to the producers at all. And it feels like a show where you have the producers that say, we want to create the most crazy, outrageous, just thought-provocative show, that we can. And the producers, the executives over at Amazon Prime said, go for it. And just have had complete hands off because they have done things that you would never expect that you would see on TV. They have taken things so far that you're left thinking, where else can they go? And then every episode they push it a little bit further, and you're just like, you're left just like, wow, these people are either just completely insane or some of the most amazing writers that have ever been in television.
Hey, man. Being insane and being able to articulate that makes for good writing. But Larry, here's the thing, my brother. We have 2 competing sex scenes. You've got a lot of people thrashing these sex scenes. And one of these sex scenes, you've got a lot of people very upset. And the other one, you haven't heard people talk about it much except for me. But some people the OSHA people was upset about that one. So Larry, which sex scene invoked the most bipolarization? Was it Little Murder and Big Tweet bending over his big tweet hind parts? Or was it the Deep sticking it into every orifice on that octopus? And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about an octopus. Each and every one of their little 8 tentacles has suckers on them. Then they got the big hole in the middle, and the Deep had all that on his penis. I'm talking, can't no woman compete with sucking the penis the way the octopus can. And the Deep wanted his boo thing to let the octopus in their bed. Larry, talk to me about that. Po octopus.
Man,
I
have to admit, man.
Let me show you the picture, Larry, because you know I wait for this. I live for this. Where's the picture? Wait. Here we go. Po octopus.
Oh damn, man.
Larry,
that's just
it's already hard enough to go to your wife or significant other and be like, honey, I want to let a third in this relationship. Can you imagine walking into your wife's room right now, Larry, and telling her, I don't know what your favorite animal is. For the Deep, it's underwater things. But can you imagine, Larry, walking into your wife's bedroom and saying, honey, I got this pet octopus who I care about and can do some really freaky things, and she want to get in our bed. And Larry, did you see the octopus trying to take a tentacle and finger the woman?
You did. She jumped up out of there with a quickness. She was like, nope, can't do it. Nope, I'm done. That's it. I'm out. And I feel her. Not only has he been running around cheating, but now he's trying to bring this chick into the room, and it's not even a human. Maybe for the Deep, I get it because he communicates with all those animals, and so for him, they're more real for him because he can communicate. She can't do that, and to her, it's just calamari, I guess that would be squid, but you know what I'm saying.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, man. Somebody let me know if you didn't have sex with something out the water. And I literally mean out the water.
Please don't. If you have, keep it to yourself, please. Just no. We don't need to know that.
But Larry, for real, can't no woman outsuck a penis the way this octopus can. The octopus has suckers on all 8 of its tentacles. All of them.
I don't know nothing about that, and don't want
let
to.
me show you. Let me show you. The Deep gave us a lesson. Look at that.
This dude, man. This dude. I mean, I feel it. You got to get it. At some point, you have to get up and bounce out. You can't just deal with the foolishness forever. And she was like, "This is too much. This is a step. This is a step beyond. This is the straw that broke the camel's back."
And Larry, he's an idiot.
Yeah, he really is.
She's the brains of this organization. He is an idiot. And this whole entire season, he's been fawning, wanting to fornicate with every octopus in the ocean. Because this ain't the first octopus.
No,
remember,
he got worse.
Made him eat the other octopus he had a hard on for.
Yeah, that was just terrible.
Oh,
that was terrible, man.
Oh man.
Ate him alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, golly, man. Talk about sushi.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are going to do the review of The Boys. First, we'll say P-Valley for the end. Larry, there are only one more episode left, Larry, and I'm sad. Because
no, man, it felt like it took a long time for him to get back around with this one. I really wanted more episodes.
Not only that, but it was so good. It's not many shows that I look forward to every week. Like I'm just panting, I'm waiting. This was one of them. They pushed the envelope this year because we had no idea what was going to happen with Soldier Boy, Homelander. We knew that some of the boys was going to be taking temporary compound V. And for those of you that don't watch the show, this is a version of superheroes that if they could become political pawns, that's what you would get from these guys. And you have a group of regular people that want to take them down because they have too much power. And these group of regular people is what they call the boys. And it's made up of Butcher, Huey, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and Kimiko. And I guess Starlight too. She's in the group as well. Yeah. And so we didn't know how they was going to attack Homelander, but we found out a big revelation in this episode. And Larry, man. I got the clip. This is going to change everything.
Everything.
Everything. Here we go.
Turns out, Vogelbaum made a kid. Born spring 1981.
I have to admit, man, I didn't see that one coming. When they revealed that, I didn't see it coming.
Larry, that's when you know the writing is good as fuck.
Yeah,
that's when you know, because that one just came really out of left field. A lot of what was going on with Soldier Boy, and ladies and gentlemen, Soldier Boy is their version of a powered up Captain America. That now has the power to somehow or another withdraw compound V serum from these superhero people and destroy him with some kind of Cyclops style cannon that comes out of his gut. And this episode was basically about people who had loved ones taking care of loved ones. You saw Huey. He took care of Butcher. You saw Kimiko confess her love to Frenchie, and she wants to get her powers back, Larry, to save her family, which is now Frenchie. And then in a twist, a very weird twist, you saw Homelander saving Maeve because he wants to use her egg with his sperm to make a baby. And last but not least, we saw Starlight decide she wants to save Huey, as she saw in the documents that temporary compound V, you take 5 of them motherfuckers, it's like taking a whole bottle of aspirin. You're gonna die. Talk to me, Larry. That was a lot in this episode. Not to mention your boy Noir, Black Noir. Not to mention A-Train. You know, they done gave A-Train. A-Train is still alive for those of you that want to know. They have given him the heart of the Blue Hawk that he killed. How, Larry, can you imagine you go kill a racist? you're supposed to die.
Yeah.
They take his heart out and put it in you, and then tell you to shut the hell up and play ball with the team.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, man. I just don't know how I feel about that if I was him.
Yeah.
You know, that would be something terrible to have to deal with. I mean, I guess on one end you're like, good, I'm glad the bastard's dead. Now I took from him what I needed, but on the other end, you like, I got this MFer's heart up in me. You know,
and damn,
man.
And Larry, are you liking how they've been able to weave current day politics into the story? It is amazing.
They have done an excellent job.
Basically, Homelander is a in-shape superhero version of Trump. He's got a lot of kid in him. He's got a lot of childlike perceptions of himself.
Yeah.
And his number one problem for why he really can't destroy and rule the world is his own damn ego.
Yeah.
And Starlight busted the whole organization, told him Homelander's a fraud. And guess what they did, Larry?
What they do?
They did what Fox News did. They went to the spin machine and started saying that Starlight is trafficking humans, and going to use Kimco as an example. Kimco ain't trafficked, not by Starlight. Talk to me, Larry. This show is just unreal.
Yeah, that chick, that PR chick, she's like, what's her name? She's like that Huckabee chick. She's just up there telling every which lie from Friday. She's
Kaylee McEnany.
Yeah. She's just telling every which lie. But man, I'll tell you that that whole thing with Starlight and Homelander, if he just wants to, he could just take her out and just be like, you guys just spin it. I mean, he said the only reason why you're not dead is because of your fame. And I'm just like, when has that stopped him? So
that's what I mean, Larry. That's his ego. Yeah. The reason he's not taking her out because he's famous is because he's using her fame to boost his popularity, or else he would have took her out. Now, I believe he might, Larry, would have took her out of that elevator had she not hurried up and pretended that she was live streaming.
Right. I think she actually was, though.
You think she really was live streaming?
I think she was live streaming. I think she was actually recording him.
Oh,
yeah. I think it's a problem because they were up there, and a little bit later they were talking about trying to do some damage control. So,
Now, what's up with Starlight, Larry? Last year we was all singing her praises about how hot she was. Now it looked like she need to go eat 3 neck bone sandwiches with a side of pork chop. Her head is big as hell on her little body. What's up, Larry?
I think it's that wide angle lens they put in front of her with that cell phone, that front facing camera.
Okay, well, let me give you another angle. That head looked like a balloon on some shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of thick before. I don't know. Maybe, Hollywood does that with women. They force them to feel like they have to be extra skinny and lose all kinds of weight. And then they end up with those big head, little body looking people. So I hope that's not the case, because she is looking pretty frail right there.
Could this be part of the stick, Larry? Could this be them saying that the compound V that they use in some of these individuals is causing them to deteriorate? Could she be stressed the hell out? Huey took compound V temporary to try to save her, and he wants to get Homelander. She does not like having to fake it to be Homelander's girlfriend, and now she done left the compound. Could she just be stressed out? And this is the way that they're casting this, Big Larry.
I mean, she's definitely stressed out, I'm sure. I mean, she rolled up into the tower to go get some real compound V for Kimiko. I'm surprised she didn't get some more temporary V. But, it's interesting that, Butcher, he had, when she told him that it was fatal, she gave him all the information, and Butcher for a moment thought like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell Huey the truth. But then I think he realized, he did the math in his head, and he said, wait, we've both already used this over the limit, over the terminal limit. We're dead no matter what. If I tell him this and he doesn't want to go forward, then we're just screwed. So I might as well not tell him anything. We can just keep using it, try and finish the job, because we're going to die anyway. Because they've already both used it at least 3 times, and they said
I know
after
it's
3
been
to 5
3.
times it's they said between 3 and 5 times it's terminal. We know Huey's used it at least 3 times, and
At
we know
least 3.
And Butcher's used it once before Huey.
So he Butcher's on 4.
So he's on 4, and they said between 3 and 5 times is terminal. So I mean, I think he just did the math and said we're dying no matter what because we both are over that limit. So let's just go ahead and get him.
Don't you think he still should have told Huey, or he's afraid if he tells Huey gonna say, if he tells Huey who called and told the information, that's when Huey probably wouldn't take it for his love of Starlight. But don't you think that he owes it to Huey to know the truth?
He should have told Huey, no doubt. But I mean, we know Butcher's sort of a piece of crap in that way. He's single-minded in his goals and his mission, which can be great. But when you're dealing with other people's lives, it could put people at risk. And the problem is, if you start putting people's lives at risk that you work with, the other people that you work with, when they see that, when they realize that, they may not be so quick to want to continue to work with you. And he needs all those people. There's not too many people in the world that believe that these soups are bad. There's not too many people in the world that have the motivation and the bravery to go after him. Huey's highly motivated because the woman that he loved was straight, just ran through, like literally ran through. She just was exploded on the curb, So he has a motivation to do it. There's not a lot of people out there like that. And so everybody
apologized. A-Train apologized though, Larry.
He did, and that messed Huey up a little bit. But I think that what he was feeling is so ingrained within him now. Like maybe if A-Train had apologized right after it happened, I think maybe Huey just would have been like, okay, it's an accident, it happened, it sucks, I'm gonna be sad, whatever, for a while. But I think that after all the cover-ups and all the other stuff I think his hatred for the soups has gotten so ingrained in who he is that apology, why it may have meant something between him and A-Train, I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it changes anything between Huey and the way he feels about the soups.
I think that another motivating factor for Huey is that he's kind of looking up to Butcher as like a big brother at this point. Especially now that they are Compound V brothers, basically.
Right.
They and Mother's Milk and Frenchie, Kimco, and Starlight are very upset with them for taking it. So it's kind of like they just got each other's back at this point. And they're trying to use Soldier Boy to do the bidding to take out the most powerful amongst them, which is Homelander. But Larry, you gotta know. You just gotta know. Somewhere lurking around out there is a more powerful suit somewhere. And they're writing him right now. If I was on that writing team, Larry, y'all better look out. Y'all better look out. Because in this episode and throughout the whole season, Soldier Boy has been going to get everybody on his team. He went and killed that cherry chick. He went after the twins, and messed up the Hero-gasm party. And he wants to get Black Noir. And along the way, Butcher has said, "I'm going to help you get what you want. You help me get rid of Homelander." And so he's agreed to it a little bit.
Right.
So in this episode, they're going after, I'm going to call the dude Mindbender. Because if you look him in his eyes, he gets in your mind, puts you to sleep, and you just die of starvation because you don't wake up. Yeah. Right. This is when we really learned how much Huey cares for Butcher. He was about to fight Soldier Boy over Butcher. Soldier Boy
was about to lose over Butcher.
Larry, let me tell you something. You can get real creative with the power that he's got. Because technically, what he could have done, he could have grabbed Soldier Boy ass when he swung at him, teleported to like the top of Mount Everest, dropped Soldier Boy, and then he teleports back somewhere else. Okay, you're done. You know, you can get real freaky with that power. it on paper, because no one has really written it where it's menacing, but that teleportation power could be a mess, Larry. It could be a mess. But anyway,
if he depending on how fast he can teleport from one place to another, like how fast he can do it again. Like if he's able to teleport from one place and then like immediately teleport to another place, he could and theoretically grab him, teleport to over top of a volcano.
Yep.
Drop him up in there and teleport out before he hits the lava, and dude just goes down there. It's a possibility.
100%. 100%. But in the end, Mindbender gets Butcher and Larry. That's when we learned the more gravity of Butcher's family situation. Man, talk to me about that pissant of a dad. We knew his dad sucked last season, but we didn't know the gravity of how much his dad sucked till this episode right here. Talk to me about that, Larry.
Yeah, that's just pretty. The whole situation at home for him was just terrible, and I see why he feels a particular way about things, because he feels horrible about the fact that he left his brother behind, and then his brother wasn't strong enough to hack it like he did, you know. So I mean, he dealt with all the trauma that he was dealing with, and I understand on one level he may have felt like his dad was beating him, and it's just a matter of inexperience and just not knowing. He felt like his dad was beating him because his dad didn't like him. He didn't realize his dad was beating him because his dad was a violent piece of trash. And if he left, violence was just gonna shift and go to somebody else. It was either gonna be his brother or his mom. And maybe if he had known that, he would have stayed, you know, or maybe he would have taken his brother with him or something.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. What would you have had him do differently, Larry? Because it's not right that he stay and keep taking the ass whippings, you know, like.
And he couldn't take his brother. He really couldn't take, because he joined the military.
Right.
He joined the service, so he couldn't. And and his brother was saying, like, you haven't called or written or anything. He was like, I couldn't. I couldn't leave the barracks. I couldn't come back. I couldn't do this, So it was like, I mean, there was really nothing he could have done unless they just became basically like runaways.
Exactly. Yeah, wasn't a lot left, many options, but.
I mean, I'll tell you though, the boy, I felt bad when I saw him go for the gun, because and I know this is probably not the way that people should think always, but I always figured if I ever got to the point where I want to kill myself, I'd rather kill my problem. Like maybe I'll be in trouble, but I won't have that problem anymore.
That is the way a lot of people think, Larry. Instead of killing themselves, they think I'm gonna kill the problem. That's a lot of people in jail over murder, my brother. A lot of people.
Yeah, they're alive to tell the tale. They may, it's unfortunate, but I don't know. I mean, it's crazy because this whole show. This is one thing I love about The Boys. When they make superhero shows, they always show them. It's usually this clear line of superheroes and villains, and in this show we haven't really seen any real villains because the superheroes are the villains themselves. It's just like they show how flawed everybody is. They show how much trauma everybody suffered. Like we see in that moment of Homelander, which I think they were trying to make us feel a little sad for him, but he's done so much terribleness it's hard to, where he's milking that cow and he's pulling the milk from the teat and drinking it, and he's experiencing that trauma because he wants to be fed. He wants to be nourished by a
father figure and a father figure.
Yeah, and he hasn't gotten that parental nourishment. And I mean, he's so desperate in that moment that he milks a cow.
Milks the damn cow. He really wants to go suck on the teat of a woman, but this is the lady that was supposed to be his mama. But she was just a plant. She was just a plant to raise him up because they knew he was going to be more powerful than the person they took his DNA from. And in the end, Larry, the Mindbender character, I wish they would have kept him alive, because technically he's powerful enough. He could have killed Homelander and he could have killed Soldier Boy if you can somehow or another get them to look him in his eyes. He could take them out. He could have took them out, but they wound up killing him. Huey got this man to agree to snap Butcher out of that endless nightmare. And the guy said Butcher's a piece of shit, but he did it anyway, Larry. He did it anyway. And the minute he does that, he gets killed by Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy basically killed him the same way he tried to kill Black Noir, which leads me to Black Noir. Larry, did you like the hold. Oh man, it's my fault. Buzz 703. Oh man.
703.
What's going on, Buzz? He says, a little support. I've been absent for a while. Buzz, me too, man. I've been working on some other things. Kind of been away from YouTube. I'll be back to YouTube in full time in August, so bear with us. And for that super chat, my brother, I know you gets down with these politics, so you know which one you about to get.
I represent the rent is too damn high party. Playing the silly game, but it's not going to happen. The rent too damn high movement, the people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay their rent. Listen, someone's stomach, child's stomach just growled. Did you hear it? Rent is too damn high.
I can't help but say this, Larry. If he would have won, he might still be governor of New York. What happened to the old governor of New York that was in that same clip with him?
You know, for real.
He's
for real. Maybe he should run again. You never know.
The rent is really too damn high. And you can start another party called the gas is too damn high. You can start that party tomorrow too. And so, Larry, what did you think about Black Noir's backstory, man? They told us how he got into it with Soldier Boy, how they was all trying to gangbang Soldier Boy, and then Soldier Boy is the reason he wear a mask and can't hear because he burned half of his face, chopped open his head, pulled out a part of his brain. He created that drama on Black Noir, and now they did a cartoon illustration. I thought that was just brilliant. Just brilliant.
Yeah.
Those were the voices talking in Black Noir's head on screen. Talk to me about Black Noir, Larry. Love it.
Black Noir he is all kinds of messed up after that beating that he took.
Messed up.
You know, and it's so interesting because he took that beating. It basically because he tried to get rid of Soldier Boy. And then he's in hiding right now because he's hiding from Soldier Boy's son. You know? I mean, which is crazy. I mean, this dude cannot catch a break with that family. I mean, this is just,
Larry, do you think he knows? Do you think he knows?
I think he knows. I think he knows.
I think he knows too. I think he knows.
Because he's always been right there with Homelander. And Homelander was even shocked when he found out he left. He was like, nah, he wouldn't do that to me. That's my man's in them. Because he's always been right there with them. And I think he's always been there with them because maybe he's always tried to figure out like, hey, let's just, maybe if I keep him close, maybe I can control him, whatever. I don't know. But man, that dude's he's going to have both of them out there looking for him in a minute.
The sad thing about Black Noir, Larry, is you could easily see him in his situation joining the side of the boys and helping them out. I mean, the way you said you don't know who's really a hero, and the reason you don't know who's really a hero is because there's no precedent set for what is the right thing to do.
Right.
Because the heroes are doing things that are immorally wrong and breaking the law, but then so is the people trying to get the suit. So is Butcher. So is Mother's Milk. So is Kimco. So is Frenchie. So there's really no precedent set for what is supposed to be right and wrong, which makes it very difficult for you to figure it out. But at this point, this episode, we've seen a lot of people having kind of an awakening. Black Noir is the main one. Larry, I can see him turning into a good suit. He started out bad. He can't go back to Homelander. And when he finds out that Soldier Boy realizes Homelander is his kid, Homelander's not going to be helped. I mean, Soldier Boy's not going to be helping the boys. Black Noir might decide to go help them then, as we've seen with Maeve.
Yeah,
Maeve, Larry, has completely turned. She's helping the boys. She helped Starlight. She's the one that got the Compound V, the temporary version, to Butcher. So there's two people, Larry, that might wind up becoming heroes.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Black Noir ended up joining the boys, or at least helping them. Maybe not joining them, but at least helping them. Maeve, I think she's gonna get out of there. I don't know how.
Yeah, she's getting out.
I don't know how she's getting out, but I think she's gonna get out.
The boys gonna come get her. They're gonna have to.
Yeah,
gonna have to.
I wouldn't. Gosh, I would not be at all surprised if Homelander and Soldier Boy ended up fighting again. Like they're father and son, but I feel like Soldier Boy is such a piece of trash, and Homelander is so desperate, to maintain his status, that I could see them having a bit of a power struggle, even though they alluded to the fact that it may not, because they alluded to it that it may not happen, but they also alluded to the fact that it may, because at one point during this conversation, Soldier Boy said, the funny thing is, if they just would have told me about you, I would have let you, take my place. What father wouldn't want that? So he said, I would have just let you. But in that same statement, it made it sound as if they didn't tell me about you, and now I'm not letting you take it. Like, I would have let them do it if they just would have told me, but they didn't tell me, and so now it's on and cracking. And so,
Larry, I got to tell you, you know why they're going to wind up teaming up?
Tell me.
There's a fly in the ointment. Soldier Boy has a grandchild.
Right. That is true. And he's going to want.
That grandchild is probably going to be more. The grandchild going to be more powerful than Homelander. Yeah. He's probably going to be powerful enough to take on both of these two, and they both got egos the size of Trump Plaza.
Yeah,
which is fake egos, by the way. And they're gonna want to take their grandkid out, Larry. They're gonna want to take that grandkid out, and the grandkid is probably because the grandkid is gonna wind up aligning himself with Butcher. He looks at Butcher as his real dad.
Yeah, but he was real salty at Butcher when he last left. He was real salty with them.
But that wasn't the first time he's been salty with Butcher. Knows how to make up with that little boy.
Yeah.
Butcher is connected to that little boy the way someone else isn't, and he could get back in his good graces. But for the fact that this man has a grandkid who's very powerful, more powerful than Homelander, which means I don't want to say he's more powerful than Soldier Boy, because Soldier Boy has a power that can take away the power of these other people.
Yeah. That's kind of like the ultimate power right there.
Right.
Right. That's sort of like the ultimate power.
They could make it where the little boy is immune to it.
Yeah, that's possible.
I mean, Larry, there are so many different directions you can go with this thing. I'm keeping an eye on that. And I saved the best for last, Larry, because you would have done the same thing.
Before you go on, somebody I think it was Muchella said the weed is making him paranoid. I don't think it's making him paranoid. I think Soldier Boy might be able to hear people's thoughts, because he keeps on asking people, what'd you say? But he's saying this, and like other people, right before he's getting ready to kill people, he's saying, it's like people, it's like as if people are telling him something and he's hearing it, but we don't hear anything. And I think he might be able to get in people's heads.
No, well, the last guy he killed was telling him that your son is Homelander. That's what the guy was telling him. Mindbender was telling him that. I do think that.
But I don't think he said it out loud.
Oh, okay. Well, he might not have said it out loud. I don't think he has that power, but I do agree with Moochie that weed is not good for him. And I mean, he's smoking it by the truckload. Do you hear me? I mean, the dump truckload. He's smoking it up. Left and right. Shout out to Moochie, her team, Miss K, that whole crew, Nita the Diva. Check them out. They do a good job. They are getting ready for Game of Thrones, and my wife then says she wants to come out of retirement. So we're going to be trying to do some Game of Thrones too, teaming up with them, get ready for it. Last but definitely not least in the boys' land, we got to talk about my boy Mother's Milk. First of all, love his t-shirt game, ladies and gentlemen. Love t-shirt game.
T-shirt game is on point.
On point. But Larry, you would have done the same thing he did.
Yeah.
This
I already know what you're talking about.
Baby mama's boyfriend took his daughter to a Homelander Republican ass rally.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't ask nobody.
Mm-mm.
And then gonna come back home and talking shit.
Yeah.
And
talk about he's been watching too much of the mainstream media. Talk about if you just stop listening to the mainstream media, you'll get the truth. Woo.
And did you hear what Mother's Milk said to him? Mother's Milk told him, right, you the idiot, dummy.
Yeah.
You don't understand that they're lying to you to keep you at bay. And that's what Fox News does on a regular, and got the nerve to call somebody else the mainstream media.
Right. But you know, the thing that I loved about this with Mother's Milk, it wasn't like he was mad at the dude about his politics or anything like that. He was basically saying, look, Soldier Boy's out there. He's trying to find Homelander. And when they do, it's going to be a massive, big, bloody battle. And you put my daughter at risk by having her right in the middle of that situation. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a matter of, I don't want you, I don't like your politics. I don't like Homelander. I don't think they should be doing this or shouldn't be doing that. You put my daughter in a dangerous situation. And that's what he was angry about. That's what I liked about that scene.
Exactly. For him, it was all about the safety of his kid. Period. He even told him, hell, you can go to that stuff all you want, but not with my daughter.
Right.
And then dude kept talking shit. And that's when he got decked. Only thing was he decked him good too. He did it, and now he's got to go explain it to the daughter because she was standing there watching.
I mean, and he hit him hard, but he pulled that punch. He did. He pulled that punch because that dude probably wouldn't even be alive today if he hit him with all his might. So.
Not today. Not today. Wow. So
but the daughter looked over at him. I'll be honest with you, that look she gave, she looked a little more confused than she looked scared. She didn't look like she was scared of her dad. She looked more confused. Like, why is this happening? But
no, I mean, I agree with that. But that's why I said that's exactly why I said he's got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
He's going to have to explain to her just exactly, really, what was you doing punching my stepdaddy, almost soon to be stepdaddy? Right. Just punch. I mean, you just decked him. For what reason? Why? And I'm sure Mother's Milk has taught his daughter great lessons. They really just getting their relationship back patched up.
Yeah.
And now you come out here and you see him hitting, bruh. But he's gonna work it out. He's gonna work it out. He's gonna work it out. And they've given him, man. I see why he turned down being on Power and all these other shows to stick with the boys.
Yeah, because this is a great show. Yeah, this is a much better show for him.
And they're giving him way more exposure to something that can transfer to the big screen in like the form of some kind of superhero, something like that. Because he's been acting his ass off on this show right here.
I fully expect that The Boys is gonna have a movie. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be like a Amazon Prime movie or if it's going to be a movie that goes onto the big screen, but I definitely feel like there's going to be a movie coming. And I don't know if it's going to be like a spin-off movie, like they're going to do like maybe a prequel or something, or maybe it's going to be a show, movie just about one of the characters, a deep dive or something. But I think there's definitely going to be a Boys movie coming.
It's not like they need me on the writing team, but literally, Larry, with all the characters on the show, you could do a series or a movie almost about all these characters.
Yeah.
Just about. You could literally do a movie. And here's a question that we answered, but we'll come back to it again. King David says, will Soldier Boy team up with Homelander? I gave a hypothesis. I said, hell yes, he's going to team up with him because Soldier Boy has a grandkid by Homelander, and that grandkid is going to wind up being stronger than both of them. And they're probably going to have to team up because neither one of those massive ass egos going to want to see someone stronger than them that can boss their asses around and tell them what to do. And they're going to wind up teaming up against their own son and grandson, who's going to team up with Butcher, who's now we're going to call him Compound V Butcher at this point.
I still think they're going to fight first. I think it's going to have to be one of those situations where they have to fight to a stalemate. And then, and then maybe they'll team up, But I mean, it could be that they team up first and then they fight. But there has to be a fight. There has to be a dominance fight between the two of them.
They already had it.
But it wasn't straight up though, because Butcher was there with them. Butcher was there fighting.
I mean, honestly, Larry, in a straight up fight, Homelander can beat Soldier Boy. There's no stalemate with them because either Homelander is going to kill him or Soldier Boy is going to open up his chest and do that beam and it's going to kill Homelander. There ain't no such thing as a stalemate between them two.
Yeah.
The only reason the last one was a stalemate was because Butcher jumped in.
Right.
But because look, think about that fight till Butcher got there. Homelander was choking your boy by the neck up against the wall. And I'm sitting here thinking, Homelander, don't you know dude chest can open up and blow you to smithereens?
Right.
You forgot about that? You just completely forgot while you sitting up there giving this dude a speech about you more powerful, blah, blah, blah. He could have just went on in and blew you up. So I don't see the only way it's going to be a stalemate, my brother Larry, is if they talk it into being a stalemate to go after the grandkid.
Yeah.
Because you know Soldier Boy going to want to see his grandkid.
I'll be honest with you too. I think something's going to happen. I would not be at all surprised if it turns out that either Huey and or Butcher end up with permanent powers. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that like maybe after they've been taking the temporary V, that they end up taking like the blue version of it instead of the green version, and then because they already have that green version in them, it actually kicks in and takes. So that because that was part of the problem is they gave people the blue version, they weren't strong enough to withstand it, and they ended up dying. But if you already have the temporary V in you to make you strong, then you get the blue version. Your body's strong enough. Your body theoretically should be strong enough to allow the blue version to take hold. So
Larry, that's another theory video. If I was making theory videos, I would easily have said that. I do believe that they both are going to wind up. Probably they have to take the real one to save their life anyway, because they showed you what happens. Kimco lost her powers because of Soldier Boy. And Starlight brought her the blue vial, the compound V, and she got her powers back. Yeah. And probably to save the life of Huey and Butcher, they're probably going to have to officially, permanently become soups. Ain't nowhere around it.
That would be something else. Yeah, I'll tell you, it'd be interesting if at this last episode, somehow, some way, Mother's Milk ended up having to take that V. That would be something else because he hates that stuff. He hates it with a passion. So if it turned out that he had, like, if it came down to like he had to take that V in order to save his daughter, I think that'd be the only way he would take it. But man, you talk about a person who would hate themselves every day afterwards. Boy, that would be interesting, especially if he took the blue stuff and became a permanent soup. You know?
Yes. Yeah. He gonna have to do what he got to do though. So, ladies and gentlemen,
they could make him the Hulk though. He's like the strong one. They could make him the Hulk.
We have yet to see that power.
Yeah.
Really.
So
and that's definitely something you could put into the writing, man. Have them bulletproof and as strong as they'll make them stronger than Homelander. I mean, bruh. I need to get a check to be on that writing team because there are so many places you can go with this thing. Post your comments down below, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to P Valley for the rest of our time. Let us know how you're feeling about The Boys. The final episode is next week, man. They only did 8 episodes.
It's heartbreaking, man. It's just heartbreaking.
It is. It's been so good. We've enjoyed it. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to engage Big Larry for the next, I got about 17, 18 minutes. And shout out to all 125 of y'all that came to see us on a Friday night. We're grateful. You could be doing anything else, but you're sharing time with me and Larry. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Larry's channel. Check us out both on social media. I've got Twitter. I've got Instagram. Larry's got them both. And tomorrow I will put this up on the podcast for those of you that want to take us when you're traveling. I hate to do this to you, Larry, but I got to revisit the scene. I got to get your analysis because the street's been talking. Yes, I do. The streets been talking, Larry, and I
No,
gotta
trust
get
me,
your.
it's okay. You don't have to. It's all right.
No. The streets been talking. They've been waiting to hear what Larry got to say, his angle. But I'll do you this solid, Larry. I won't show you all of it. I'll give you half of
The
it.
streets talk too much.
Here we go. I love it when the streets talk. Moochie keep her ears to the street for me and you to hear everything. Here we go. Cause you my man, Larry. I'll save it. I'll save you from the rest of it. But Larry, that is the love scene heard around the world. The groundbreaking love scene between two big burly thug men getting it in. They pulled out the lube. They pulled out condoms. They talked about jail time. They talked about all that. And the comments was blowing up. You had little Duval coming up there saying, "There won't nobody ready for that." And then you had the writer for the episode getting little Duval ass and say, "If you ain't ready for it, change the channel." Woo! And everybody just has an opinion. So, Larry, the floor is yours. Talk to us about that scene. And if you did change the channel, was you changing the channel from all that dark chocolate making out between Mercedes and the coach's wife, Farrah?
I'll be honest with you, man. Not that offended me, but it does. It is becoming a bit worrisome, and I'll tell you why. Because in an effort that I see, in an effort for people to have all this inclusion and stuff, I feel like, especially when it comes to Black characters, they seem to always overdo it and always make the Black folks go gay. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be gay representation with Black shows, because we know there are Black folks out there who are gay, but sometimes I feel like it's over-representation. You know, it's too much sometimes. It's just too much. They don't give us enough balance, and that's where it gets me. And I'm feeling like that's like, it was like we now we have, you know, we had Uncle Clifford and what's his name, Murder, and now we have him and this other, you know, this other little jail dude, and now we have Mercedes turning gay. It's like, what are we gonna have next? Now we had Diamond riding bitch with that little bartender. It's like, do we have any strong male representation left on this show?
Andre's
flailing. Andre just walked in on his wife cheating on him.
But Larry, here's the thing.
He's flailing.
There's a lot of shows that don't have. Do you consider Mother's Milk strong male representation on The Boys?
I do.
How? When we just said that nobody is really in the right on that show.
I'm going to say that he is probably the most righteous person on that show. That show is different and it's challenging because you have people who are trying to fight a war against unrighteous people in the most unrighteous ways those people exist, and they're trying to do it in a way that they can look themselves in the mirror. And Mother's Milk, even though he's not perfect, he's still out there trying to fight that fight in the best way possible. And let me say this.
I agree with what you said. But there's a whole group of people out there saying the same thing to make themselves feel good when they get in the mirror. You want me to tell you who they are, Larry?
Who?
The same people that stormed the Capitol saying the same exact thing to themselves that you just said to me.
True. A lot of people tell themselves all kinds of stories. You know, they do. They tell themselves all kinds of stories. I personally think Mother's Milk is a good representation. This is one of those things. I don't think that Black characters have to be perfect. They can be flawed. We are naturally flawed. I just like there to be balance when you show flawed characters. Like, I don't want to see Black people all good and no bad. I don't want to see Black people all bad and no good. And I just find that there's too much. And for Michelle Moore says being gay doesn't mean that you're not strong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about overrepresentation of the LGBT community in these black shows or with black characters in other shows. It seems like if there's going to be a character, if there's going to be an LGBTQ character, they're going to make that character black so they can say, well, now we have, triple, double, quadruple representation, and they can just they can check off all kinds of boxes with one character. I'm tired of seeing that.
Does it make you feel any better to know that neither one of the men in that scene in real life, neither one of them is gay? As a matter of fact, Jay Alfonso, he's married, has a wife.
I mean,
that used to be something that would get on people's nerves. That used to be something.
It did used to be. I think it still is probably something, but it's one of those things that I guess I don't really have feelings towards one way or the other. I know there are probably people out there that are gay that are probably feeling like if you're going to play a gay character, you should be gay.
That's true.
But
that's true.
That's true. I feel like if you're black, if you're playing a black character, you should be black. I mean, there's a issue right now with there's a Halsey biop that's in the works, and they're talking about Millie Bobby Brown playing her character, but we all know. Yeah. What? And they do. They look very much alike. They show them side by side. They look like they could be sisters, but one's white and one's black.
I know you're not talking about Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things.
Yeah. She's supposed to play Halsey in this Halsey biop. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just like when I see, like when I was seeing Uncle Clifford, and even when I saw Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder together, that stuff didn't bother me. It's like, okay, you have that, that's fine. You have you have representation over there, and then you have Diamond, I guess, that's trying to be Diamond, but he was never with anybody. It was like, he was interested in Mississippi, but he was never with anybody. And
that's his wife in real life, right? Big Bone.
Big Bone is his real. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I think that setup, Larry, is nothing but it's going to be a fight between Big Bone and Mississippi. That's coming down the road because Mississippi likes Diamond, but she's in a situation.
Right.
And she knows that he likes her. And now he about to have a situation when I feel like something's going to happen to that dumbass daddy daycare Derek sooner or later, and that's going to free up Mississippi, and she's going to want to put her emotions into Diamond, but standing in between her and Diamond is going to be a huge, fine-ass roadblock named Big Bone Block. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole thing. It was too much. It felt like it was too much. I hate to say it, but I feel like it was too much propaganda being pushed up in your face. I don't care when they have those stories, those inclusive stories that feel organic, but it didn't feel organic. It felt like it was like they were shoving it down our throat.
Well, Larry, white people used to say the same thing about us in the 70s and 80s when they would keep putting on black shows. They would say the same exact thing. Man, yeah, I'm not racist, but I feel like there's just too much black propaganda. I'm not racist, but why do I always have to see a black person with a white person? That my grandma told me this was happening back when she was watching TV when it first came on.
I totally understand that, and I get it. I do. I get it. I understand that I'm probably sounding a lot like some of those folks back then, and I don't want to sound like that, but I do feel to a certain extent that it's over-representation on some levels. I think they need to balance it out. Like I'm not. Okay. If you want to have all this LGBT representation on this show, then how about have some representation of just good old regular straight folks that are actually together in normal relationships? We're not really seeing that. The closest we had was what, Andre? That was what the closest thing we had.
Yeah, well, you about to see it in the next episode because Andre and Autumn about to get it on like Donkey Kong. Get it
but
on.
Even there, that's not even like a real relationship. Those are two people who are using each other. It's completely transactional. Like we get to see with with Little Murder and this dude from jail, that seems like a genuine emotional connection between the two of them. Like we even got to see after that, the next morning, dude was salty. He was sitting up in the windowsill talking about who's Uncle Clifford. The dude was jealous. The dude wasn't just, it wasn't just some smash and get off, get off sexually. He actually has some emotions towards him. Him and Little Murder and Uncle Clifford having an emotionally charged relationship.
That ain't good for Uncle Cliff. I can tell you that right now, Larry. That ain't good for Uncle Cliff.
No, we even get to see with Mercedes and what's her name? Farrah. We even get to see in that, and between those two, that's even emotionally charged. We're not seeing that with Andre and what's her name? It seems like
wait a minute.
They try and make it seem like it's emotionally charged, but really it just comes out as transactional because what's her name? Autumn Night's all about her money.
True, but she has feelings. She has feelings for him. The problem is his feelings for her are deeper. And when you speak of transactional, Larry, after Farrah smashed Mercedes, she left $10,000 on the desk. Ain't nothing more transact. That's damn near prostitution.
I don't think that was. Let me try. I'm trying to get this right so I don't offend anybody.
Okay.
I don't think that was transactional, and the sense that she was trying to say, okay, you're just a hoe and I'm paying you. I think what she was trying to do was convince herself that she's not gay. I think she's trying to pay her and say, I think she's just trying to pay her and say, you are just an experience. I was just paying for an experience. I'm not gay. I'm not feeling you. I'm not having emotions towards you. I'm not doing any of this. I'm just paying you for an experience. And I had the experience. It was entertaining. And now I'm paying you and leaving. And so
you said she was doing that.
I think that's what she was doing. I don't think she was trying. I think she was trying to distance herself from that experience by putting a financial transaction between her and Mercedes.
Oh, so you saying Farrah, this was Farrah doing her monkey backflips in her own mind.
Yes.
Because she know on the low she really wants this woman, even though she's never been gay before in her life.
Right. And I think she's having all kinds of feelings, and she put that money there, that transactional, payment there as a barrier between the two to try and say what happened between us wasn't real. It was just something. It was just an experience that I was having, and now I'm paying you for your time. I think that's all that it was. But but really in her mind, she's feeling her. She's completely feeling Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. Look at this, Larry. Look at that. Wouldn't you love to be somebody's nose or somebody's chin in that moment? Got to be more careful.
I wouldn't want to be there. They were totally into themselves. That's like being hungry, watching somebody cook a steak and knowing you can't eat it. They didn't want any parts of anybody. They were totally into themselves.
The coach been eating it. He been eating steak and ribeye. Pick your choice.
The coach was not getting that level of what they had there. What the coach was getting was what they had right there. That wasn't paid for. Like she may have gave her something after, but that wasn't a paid for experience right there. That was something they wanted to have happen. What coach gets is the Mercedes experience that you get on the flyer.
I got you. I'm with that. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think that finally the passion between Autumn and Dre is going to come out next episode because he done caught his wife cheating. And he was very nice there. He let the dude walk out the house naked, didn't punch him, didn't do nothing.
He damn near killed him, though. He damn near killed him. He was about to put dude out.
But he let him go.
He
let him go, and he let dude leave the house naked. But he, like you said, he could have kicked him as he was going downstairs, but he didn't. So
he was in Mississippi. He could have killed that dude and got away with it. I don't think there's any court in Mississippi that's going to be like, oh, you walked in and a dude's with your wife, and so you killed him, and now we're gonna see. I don't think
here's the problem with that, Larry. Dude was a doctor, the wife was a doctor, your boy is a drifter. That's the problem.
Your boy's a lawyer.
But he ain't got no job. He's a drifter right now.
No, he works for that big that he works for Corbin and them, and that with that big thing. He's trying to get that. He's got big money behind him.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Okay, I'll give you that. But like you said, the wife and the dude is in Atlanta. That's Mississippi where he's working with Corbin. This is Atlanta where he called his wife with the doctor. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I keeps a little something on me here. So I would have had to slice a good 2, 3 off. I'm like, you're not gonna leave the same way you came up in here. I would have sliced half of it off and been like, I would have told my wife, oh, you want some of him? Here, you can keep it. Larry, you want some of him, you can keep it.
What if all he got is 2 or 3, man?
And then I guess he's going home with nothing then.
You're gonna make him handicapped, bro.
I'm taking. I'm like, you want it? He's gonna have to give up half. He's gonna have to give up half. If he's got 3, he's got 1.5 now.
So Larry, the question is: this marriage over? She don't want him to be married.
Oh, that's over.
She gets caught dead wrong, and at first was sad, whimpering, somewhat remorseful. And the minute he said, "I want to run for mayor," she just went right back in the animal tirade. So, Larry, talk to me about this relationship.
I'll tell you, I was so angry in this moment. I was so angry. First of all, this bitch asshole is cheating on him. And yeah, I said it. I'm going to keep on saying it. Bitch asshole, cheating on him. And then she has the nerve to laugh at him because he wants to do something to better himself and she doesn't believe in him. That's the thing. She doesn't believe in. She knows he's capable of certain things. She knows he's gone to law school. He's passed the bar. He's become a lawyer. She knows he's capable of certain things, but she still doesn't believe in him. She thinks the only way that he can get ahead is if she helps him get ahead, if her family helps him get ahead. She doesn't believe in him. And that's why I think she was so angry when he dealt with his godfather all the time, because she was like, how dare he go to this gold tooth Chuckalisa nigga instead of my family, How dare he have dreams and aspirations that don't include my family legacy and try and go and do something better on his own. How dare he do this? Who does this nigga think he is? She is from one of those little Jack and Jill families. She's thinking, I took this little country nigga into my life. And now he has the audacity to not do what I want him to do. I gave him the privilege of existing in my sphere. And now he won't even do what I tell him. That's the way she's acting. But when she laughed at that nigga, I told myself, brother, you need to turn around and walk out the room right now, because if you punched her straight up in the mouth, I would say you're wrong for hitting a woman, but you weren't wrong for hitting her. Like you were still wrong for hitting a woman. But in that moment, as that person right there, I would have had a hard time. That right there, that laugh to me, I would have been like, if that chick got hit by a bus or caught COVID at work tomorrow, I would just be like, whatever, That made me so
angry. Ladies
and
gentlemen, this is the Larry y'all been waiting for right here. This is the Larry y'all. This is the Larry y'all want to see in Hotlanta. He's Dre in Hotlanta in that house for y'all fellas right now. He went in on the. And the sad thing is, people, me and Larry have talked good about this woman. We talked great about how she looked in that taking that shower. We talked cornball shit about Dre not being in position to at least just have the girl some almond milk. We talk pure junk about Dre, sitting around playing video games. I made the off-putting comment that maybe Dre is in a funk because he's not getting none from his wife. And I got taken to task by Monique Nicole by saying, so you're victim blaming? You're victim blaming? I said no, but I said a relationship.
Victim blaming? Well, who's the victim? Who's the victim?
The victim is the wife because she didn't get her almond milk. That's the victim. She's working. She's working, Larry. She's risking her life, and all Dre is doing is sitting at home playing video games.
Now I'm gonna call 100% bullshittery on that. I will tell you this: if you've ever been in a situation where you're not working, where you're used to working, you're used to having a full thriving day doing what you do, and then you find yourself without work, and you are sitting around, the hours between the time you wake up and the time between you go to sleep are long as fuck. And so this idea that all of a sudden she's the victim and he's the one that's sitting around just doing nothing, playing video games, he is in a terrible headspace. He not only is he not working, he's got COVID. He's worried, he's got the COVID. He doesn't have COVID himself, but he's got COVID that he's dealing with. His wife is out there. As bad as she has it, she has work that's keeping her mind occupied. She's coming home tired. She's waking up saying, oh my God, I just felt like I just woke up and just left. Yeah, because you just woke up. You went to work. You were busy as hell for 10 hours. And then you came home. Those 10 hours were like they didn't exist to you. They were gone. You get to go to work, have 10 hours of mind occupation, stimulation. Then you come home, I'm sorry you didn't get your almond milk, but damn, because you didn't get almond milk, now you think it's okay to go suck some nigga's dick and fuck this nigga? Fuck that. Bitches be out of their goddamn minds lately thinking that they could do anything they want because some nigga didn't do one little small thing. Nigga didn't pay, he didn't pay my light bill on time. And so I got a $3 fine. First of all, you should pay your own light bill. He didn't give me my almond milk on time. The nigga got the almond milk. He just forgot to put it downstairs. She just had to come up to the main to get it. It wasn't like he didn't go to the store and get the almond milk. And motherfuckers act like that gives him a right gives her a right to go suck some nigga's dick. Man, fuck y'all. Y'all on some bullshit.
So Larry, what I want to know is why was she withholding penis from Andre? Now we don't know that to be sure. Okay, we don't know that to be sure. But I am assuming because of how strict she was with COVID, she wasn't giving him none. Then all of a sudden, when Derek Stick My Dickie in You shows up, she ain't got no mask on. He ain't got no mask on. They just all butterball naked with it upstairs in their house.
In his motherfucking bed. Ooh.
In his bed. And she's supposed to be COVID isolating from him. So that's why I assume he ain't getting no problem,
I'll tell you right now.
Bruh. I wouldn't have been getting no almond milk either. I'm sorry. Hell, I wouldn't have been getting no almond milk. I wouldn't have been getting no regular milk. Hell, it wouldn't have been nothing cooked. Okay.
Oh my God. I would have had to call out to Jesus in that moment to save everyone's life. Because I would have been like, man, I would have been like, I love my wife, and that might be the only reason why she'd be alive in that moment. But that nigga's dead. Fuck that. That nigga's bleeding out. I am castrating. I am castrating that nigga like it is 18.
Let us see your steel.
Let me get. I am cutting that nigga's up. I am castrating that nigga like it's 1826. He going Lorena Bobbitt.
Larry gonna go Lorena Bobbitt.
I'm going Django Unchained with that nigga. No.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh man.
That says, I'll tell you, that scene made me so angry. I mean, people really went hard on Andre. They were like, he didn't even get her almond milk. This brother got her the damn almond milk. He just forgot to put the shit downstairs. It wasn't like he just didn't get it for her. He just forgot to move it from the main refrigerator to her little ass refrigerator. That was it. It wasn't like he forgot to get it. And people act like he was some sort of slouch, and she came in there all ballistic. Oh my God, you didn't give me my almond milk. Yeah. The almond milk is right there. You're drinking the damn almond milk. You poured your glass of almond milk. I just forgot to move the damn almond milk from the main refrigerator to the little refrigerator, and you're acting like I just blasphemed the Lord. You
see, and Larry, this is the repercussions of not putting her almond milk in her little refrigerator. She go give them panty drawers up to Derek at the job, Dr. Derek, and Andre, I guess he gonna move to Chuckalisa because Mayor Tydell Ruffin left the house to him. That's his new campaign headquarters. Corbin supporting the business. This marriage is over, ladies and gentlemen. This
is that bullshit. Somebody up here named Zumiko or somebody said she's literally on the front lines with people's lives in her hands with zero support from her husband. How the fuck is zero support? The brother went out into the COVID world to go get her almond milk. You don't see he doesn't have all the PPE and shit. He's running around with a little regular ass mask. He went out into the whole post-COVID world to go get her almond milk. Why the hell does she need almond milk in the middle of the damn pandemic? You talking about not supporting? This brother's literally putting his life on the line so she can drink almond milk. And because he forgot to move it from the main fridge to the little fridge, he's not showing her, he's giving her zero support. See, that's why I say some of y'all women be on some bullshit and you need to get your motherfucking minds right. Or don't, because that's why so many of you are single, because you're on that bullshit and your minds are not right. Just because somebody does not do one little step in the process the way you wanted to doesn't mean there's no support. The brother went out in the world, got the almond milk, brought the almond milk back home. He just forgot to place it from one fridge to the other. And if you don't like what I'm saying, there's a whole ass that you can kiss.
I'm just worried about the brother not getting no draws. I know how draws in a relationship can be a great motivator for men. That's all I'm saying. And apparently he won't get none because obviously the wife won't satisfy. She giving it up to Dr. Derek or whatever the hell his name. What was his name anyway, Larry? What was the dude name? He was cheap. She said his name. I forgot it. I'm going to call him Dr. Dingaling. How about that? We just call him Dr. Dingaling.
I don't know. After I get done with them, they're going to call him half-mass.
See,
that's
y'all
it.
see how
evil.
Call him
half-mass.
Y'all see how evil Larry said if the boy had 3 inches, he going to be down to 1. Now, who's going to do something with that?
I'm fair. I'm taking half.
See, thank you, Miss K. Miss K said Dante. I knew it was something with a D. Dr. Dante. Good Lord, have mercy. Before we get out of here, Larry, I got one more thing I want us to talk about, and that is Mercedes' mom. Lord. Pastor Pimpin' Woodbine. Pastor Woodbine.
Where the blessings reside, where the blessings reside.
Larry, how do you like her getting into this mayoral race, my brother?
I'll tell you, man, I don't like this woman at all, but she is one entertaining character. She is a firebrand, and the way that she engages with the people around her, people are just taken with her. And I get why she wanted to do this thing of being a pastor, because she has that gift of gab. She has the ability to get people to pay attention and hold it. Now, she's completely full of crap, but she does have the ability to get people to listen to her. And I mean, you even saw, what's her name? What's Wanda's character's name? Roulette. She even had Roulette checking for her. She started breaking down Roulette's walls. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting, It's gonna be interesting to play out, because it's gonna be a 3-way mayoral race between between dude with the shag, and the dude with the shag and Corbin's brother, Andre, and then Mercedes' mama. So I think it's all gonna come out. I think it's probably, it makes sense if I was the writer, if it would make sense for me to make it Andre that wins this race.
Exactly. I said the same thing, Larry. Yeah. I said that would make it so interesting. But before we get out of here, Larry, this is going to be my last Friday live stream, probably till August. I got some business I got to handle. I'm trying to come up in the Hollywood world, so I'm going to be here, there, and everywhere. But before I get out of here, I will be back in August, probably for the finale of P-Valley, and I'll be back with my man, Larry. Larry, I need some death predictions. Give me 2 death predictions, and you see, it's cuts for the slut season. I got my notepad back. So we've got Monique, we've got Miss K, we got Moochella, and now we're going to add Larry to the P-Valley death prediction. So Larry, who you got?
Oh man, I think probably what's his name? Either Mississippi's manager. I think I kind of want, but he's not really all that important, but he is. I want to say Derek's going out. Derek's going out.
Do you want me to put Derek on paper?
Yeah, put Derek on paper. I think he's going out.
So I think Derek. Okay.
But how many episodes are left?
I think they're doing 10 this time.
And what number are they on now?
We about to be number 5 this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Derek. I was gonna say, because I think there might be a showdown between I think it's going to get to a point where where Mississippi is going to have some issues with Big Bone, and then that's going to cause a problem with Derek. We already know it's going to be a problem with Derek because she was already on the phone in the trailer screaming about it, talking about I'm the one supporting you, So, I mean, I know there's going to be some issues there. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if she's going to be the one that kills him, but I think he's going out. And then I kind of think that it might be Mississippi's manager because I think that he's gonna try and get rid of old prison lover. I think he's gonna try because he already said dude's gotta go. We need to get him. He needs to get fired. I don't ever want you feeling that way again, being scared like that, And I think and at the same time, old boy that told dude, I'm loyal. I'm always loyal like that. He was over there behind that little pillar listening and taking notes and whatnot. So I think he's probably going to tell dude. He's probably going to tell little murder and dude that Mississippi manager is trying to get rid of him. And I think dude might get him, either might kill him or have him killed or something. So those are my two.
So ladies and gentlemen, let me give you all the death predictions we got so far.
Everybody else is too important to die right now. Like dude could get killed. Little murder's little prison lover. He could get killed at the end of the season, but I feel like everybody else is too important. Like you can't kill Diamond or Big L or Little Murder or Uncle Clifford. You know what? I forgot. I do have one. Put this down. If you have to take one of them off, then take this one off. I think what's her name? Uncle Clifford's mother, was his grandmother? Ernestine's dying because they intentionally took what's her name, Toya? They intentionally walked her old sneezing, coughing, COVID-y ass right over next to her while they were at the bar eating and sat down over there and breathed all on her. And then she got up and left. And she's been walking around breathing on all kinds of people. So I think she's going to breathe all over Ernestine. And old people were getting taken out left and right in the early days of COVID. So I think Ernestine's going out. I think it's gonna be Ernestine and Derek. I'm gonna pick those two.
Okay. All right. So that is. Let's see here. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4 people, Larry. Listen to this. Out of 4 people, for real, y'all got Ernestine. For real. And out of 4 people, 2 of y'all got Derek.
All right. I like it. Who else is with me with Derek?
Moochella, who hang with the fellas. She's an old pro.
All right. I like it, Moochie. I like it, Moochie.
Guess who else she took, Larry?
Who?
Miss Ernestine.
Oh, we're both. There you go. See? Great minds think alike.
But there's somebody else who took Miss Ernestine, my little sister, Miss K.
All right.
Miss Ernestine.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I don't want to see her go out because I like that character too, but they just had they made too much of a point to put Toya's sick ass right next to her. So I think she's gonna get that Rona, and they're gonna, because in those early days they didn't have any treatments, people were dying left and right. I think she's gonna get taken out.
It was definitely a mess, man. So
and she's old.
I hate it though, man, because she's funny.
She is
funny. She is funny on this show, man. She is. It's like, when Loretta Devine, she's like Hollywood royalty, probably to everybody on that set, and to us, she's Hollywood royalty. And when she comes out there, I'm sure people get motivated to do the best they can. And a lot of people don't know Loretta Devine is very funny. Like she's almost like comedian funny behind closed doors. So I know, goodness well, they be having a good time with her. And I know she set the tone for the show. And Larry, you really got to get rid of her, man. Like we need more of her.
I don't want to. I like her. Like if they don't kill her, they're gonna at least have her very, very sick. Like they're gonna make that a storyline, at least for an episode where she's very, very sick and Uncle Clifford's losing his ish because I don't see how they would have taken little sick girl and put her all right next to her on purpose, and then there's no consequences from that. I just don't see it. I don't see why they would do that. So
can't do that. So
yeah,
well,
somebody
ladies and gentlemen,
somebody has to die from the Rona. You can't have the pandemic and no one dies from it. Somebody that they know has to die from it. So
it could be, Larry, that Mississippi kid dies from the Rona. Because
kids aren't really dying from it, though. That's the thing. Kids aren't
they're
really
not
dying
really.
from it.
They're not really. I mean, you're talking like 1 out of every, I think it was like 5,000 people, it'd be a kid dying. But Larry, something is going to happen in that house with Daddy Dumbass Daycare Derek, the kid in Mississippi. They alluded to something going on in this coming episode with flowers around the crib of the baby. Something going to happen. There. Something going to happen.
Oh,
yeah. What kind of foreshadowing is that, Larry? Mississippi walking into a room, it's nothing but a bed of flowers around the crib, and it's an empty crib. Ooh. You make your own illusions, Larry. Make your own illusions.
Wow. I mean, if that's the case, even if Derek doesn't die, he's not going to be in the picture anymore, because we know they talk about it's like a very rare thing for couples to survive the death of a child. They say that is almost certainly death of a relationship. So,
really?
Yeah, really? They say it's I mean the percentage of couples that stay together after the death of a child is so small. It's like I would say it's like in the not even in the teens, you know.
I mean, can you imagine? That's like PTSD. You know, every time you look at your partner, it reminds you of the child. I mean, there's a lot. I can see that, because there is a lot. You would need some strong, and when I say strong, I mean some strong therapy, some strong friends or family in that situation.
And that's not them.
No, not at all.
I mean, he's violent, can't control his emotions, and all the other stuff. I mean, that's just not them. They're not going to all of a sudden go to therapy and
no.
You know,
he's not even the type of cat. He ain't even the type of cat that probably want to hear the word therapy said in his presence.
Yeah.
You know, he barely can hear the word "I make the money for the house" said in his presence without going crazy. So, you know, it's going to be some mess. But ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. My wife wants to do the shy. I don't know if we're going to make it happen this week or when we're going to be stepping away, but it's going to come. And I'll be back for sure on Monday. And then after that, y'all just had to check in on me. Make sure you got your alerts on. I'll be sporadic with the wife doing Thor, Love and Thunder. You might see me with T Streams. We're going to try to do the shy. And periodically, we're going to slide in here and try to do maybe P-Valley or something else that we see while we kind of out trying to do some networking. So just make sure your alerts are on. Larry, what's going on your channel so the people can go and watch you? I know you're doing Wine and Winners again. So what's good on your channel?
Yeah, man, just trying to do my tech thing, trying to get these videos out there and do some reviews. I'm probably, you know, I think I'm going to probably end up switching my channel up a little bit. You know, I've been trying to just do more and more photography related stuff. So I think I'm going to keep trying to do that more and more and focus my channel more in that direction. So we'll see how it goes, man. YouTube is a, you know, it's a finicky mistress, boy. I tell you, it's just you never know one day to the other. Sometimes it feels like on what's going to work for you and what's not. And you know, so we'll see. I'm still trying to build my channel back up right to where it was. It's taking a little bit more time than I was expecting. So I'm trying to avoid having to go back into doing TV stuff like the core cutting stuff. You know, I know you've mentioned about doing some, you know, maybe about doing some reviews and stuff. We'll see. I told myself I was going to give myself a few months, see how it works out, and then we'll start making some more decisions. So.
Okay. All right. Well, whatever you do, this team is here for you, man. You're a member of this family. They're going to be here to support you. We're here. Whatever you do, you know, make that transition. Let us know so we can help you get it going.
All right.
Be sure to subscribe to that man's channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back on Monday night. Till that next Sex is Hell video, I'm out.
Peace.
Peace.